The topic? Fake news, socialist melodrama, or evangelical playbook? The answer? Tonight on Now See This Here Now Then. Hello! I'm Richard Cranium. This is Now See This Here Now Then. On this episode, fake news and the erosion of the American IQ. We will take a deep dive into the world of make-believe and examine how the news media, social media, print media, broadcast media, medio noche, and medio dia all create twists to gain partisan favor in a broad audience. But first, a word from our sponsor. The dictionary. Words, those things that fall out of your mouth. Well, we've caught them and we've collected them in a book. So, if you're an idiot and don't know a word, look it up in the dictionary. Fake news. It's the news that reeks of frivolous imagination, concocted facts, and biased ideas of extremists angling to dupe you into believing an argument only your pervy uncle would defend. Stage pieces built with Photoshop, creative editing, and corroboration from a corporate entity with a bottom line and a sexual harassment budget. Observe Exhibit A.
I'm gonna ride this one out, guys. I'm gonna ride this one out right here.
Obviously, that hurricane is an actor. The real issue that drips from that clip like a dying Keurig is the fact that we tune in to watch it, to see if the hurricane, named after an ex-girlfriend someone is still butthurt over, will kill the teeny man in the overpriced raincoat. The 24-hour news cycle churns in both directions as ratings drive the news cycle. Flash over substance is the trend of the day. Banners on the top and bottom of an already crowded screen confuse and frustrate grandmothers everywhere. Interviews are conducted in new triple vision cinemascope to simply reinforce core beliefs that divide dinner tables and the holidays. It's like a drug with the side effects that include diarrhea, mild headaches, rashes, blisters on the inside of your eyelids, and polio of the left pinky. Call your doctor before using if you're pregnant, drunk, or getting pregnant while you're drunk. But flashy 24-hour news channels are not the only places that harbor these narratives of ignorant blissiness. Observe Exhibit B.
200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball by Eric Dubay. 1. The horizon always appears perfectly flat 360 degrees around the observer regardless of altitude. All amateur balloon, rocket, plane, and drone footage show a completely flat horizon over 20+ miles high. Only NASA and other government space agencies show curvature in their fake CGI photos and videos.
Whatever that young man is smoking, I want some of it. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all synonyms for the word stupid. Sure, there are some quality programs on YouTube, like a young channel trying to make videos to turn views into subscribers. But for the most part, these platforms have opened a floodgate of ripe opportunities to anyone with an internet connection and an iPhone to vomit insane postulations that upset the natural order of a typical 7th grade science book. Conspiracy theories blend with real facts to become narratives at the water cooler, while real, worthwhile news is left to the side and treated as if it were as illegitimate as my half-brother. Sorry, Peter. Both sides of the political divide use the same tactics to gain electorate favor, while never giving credence to the damage their blatant misuse of the public's fears and anger may actually have. It reminds me of something my wife Bacon told me the other day when she said, "For God's sake, Richard, put your clothes on. I want to see you naked in the dark." That woman lights a fire in my pelvis. Nonetheless, as a culture, we are bombarded every day with what we assume to be truth, only to find out it is nothing more than ratings grabs and clickbait that twist any narrative into a steaming pile of poo. From social media to cable news channels, fake news lies beneath the soothing sounds of voices we want to connect to. Cable news offers loud, angry white men and half-drunk ex-pageant queens, while social media hides behind the sounds of low-wage conservative southern accents and gender-neutral, effeminate liberal rage. But if cable news and social media are all bastions of fake news, where's the real news? That answer is very easy to find. It's outside your front door. Community. The place where you live, the town you call home, the teen pregnancy that actually affects you. Sorry, Brittany. Most of the nationally broadcast news we ingest, like a family-sized bag of Doritos, has little to do with our local culture. The reason why those pieces on your local channel about some bratty 8-year-old selling lemonade for Firehouse 415 matters is because she lives next door. The firehouse covers your block. Instead of wasting time on which CNN anchor faked his COVID recovery, or if a pandemic is the concoction of a political party, focus on what is happening down your street. Like the plant that just closed, the restaurant that just opened a second location, and the brothel your friend Ed was secretly running out of his garage. Thank you, Ed. That news isn't fake, as you can easily verify it and trust it. That is what matters. Truth. Something the elite news organizations of the Northeast care little about, but local news channels are forced to engage with, as you know where they live. Even though the weatherman carries the burden of good and bad climate, the sportscaster is clearly drunk every night at 11, and the co-anchor acts like she is Mariah Carey on New Year's Eve, those personas of desperation feed you what is happening near you. That is how the cookie really crumbles. That is all for tonight. Next time on Now See This Here Now Then, we look at cheerleaders, socialist props, or evangelical spirit squad. You decide. Until then, I'm Richard Cranium. Ta-ta.